Hello, my friends. It's 1 o'clock, which means it is time for the 1 o'clock live stream. Um, I'm just up here watching our friend Two Cap, Thomas Fahey, um, get his reps in. He's going to do 100 Navy SEALs. He's doing 100 Navy SEAls. He will finish up with 100 Navy SEAls. Um, and I'm going to bring up my desktop so it'll be easy to read comments. If we get comments, if we get visitors, it can go either way. It does not matter. I'd been doing a little prayer before every live stream. It's sort of a version of the morning prayer that's offered in A Course in Miracles, where we ask God, Holy Spirit, Krishna, the Tao, what should I do? Where should I go? What should I say? And to whom? Because, man, we bang around through the day, colliding with others, our ego making demands, pushing, shoving. Everything is about, as George Harrison sang, I, me, mine, song he wrote for Let It Be, about the ego, all through the day, all through the night. I, me, mine, I be mine, I be mine. And that's what the ego does. It's what it's supposed to do. Looking after number one, and guess who's number one? Number one is always the ego. Even at the expense, often, of our own psychological, emotional, and physical health. So my little it's different all the time, but my little pre-live prayer, it's amazing that, I've re-immersed myself in the true art of prayer, where I'm not petitioning, please allow this to do whatever, but saying, please allow, please allow, please allow. Allow me to be a vessel. Allow me to be a better vessel for whatever it is that needs to be said each live stream, for whatever it is that needs to be said every time I make a video and do some talking, for whatever it is that needs to be said when I come in contact with people. And it's been remarkably effective. And it's no easy task because, not to brag, but I'm a natural and a pretty incredible smartass. My fallback for my ego is always be a smartass before anyone else gets the opportunity to be a smartass. It was a defense mechanism. As a kid with some issues with my eyes, as a kid with a speech impediment, as a very shy child, and not understanding what it was people teasing. When you're a child and you're introverted, I don't think any child does. All of a sudden, we go from this safe, hey Suzanne, how are you? We go from this safe environment of oneness when we're born until, what's the age? Some say 2. I think it's a little later. So maybe I was a slow egoic developer. But you feel safe and secure in the world. And then something comes along and all of a sudden gives you the idea that you are different, that you are separate, that, man, life isn't always going to be as it is. That somehow, in this sense of separation, I'm going to go through my life no longer feeling as if I belong. It happens to all of us. You remember the time? I use this example a lot. When you were coloring and someone came along and said, teacher, older sibling, neighbor, stay within the lines. Don't color outside the lines and put that purple crayon down. The sky isn't purple. The grass isn't whatever. You're supposed to follow the rules. Of course, we don't know the rules. So you're supposed to follow the rules, but you don't know them. Life just grows more complicated from there. And then someone comes along and tells you that you look different, you sound different, and that's not supposed to be. You're not supposed to be, is the basic premise of those statements. Gerby says hello. Gerby, how are you, my friend? And that's, how it works. And we spend the rest of our life just accumulating stuff. And a lot of it is just emotional stuff, emotional baggage. Never realizing in an instant we can let it all go. Literally in an instant. Course in Miracles says that each moment we have the capacity, the capability to choose either the crucifixion, where life is crucifying us, and in return, because of the fear that's produced, we crucify others, or we could choose the resurrection. We are either hostage to the ego or host to God every single moment. But we don't know we have that option. We don't know we have a choice. So we go through life as hostage to the ego, believing that we are actually the ego, believing that we're the narration that's going on in the mind. All those thoughts, all that pettiness, all that I, me, mine. When in fact, we are the pure, undulated, undivided, unconditional awareness that is witness to the whole shebang. Sorry. The entire conversation was just leading up to the moment where I could say the word shebang. It's not often I get to fit it. It's not often I get to fit it in a conversation. It's not often I try. It's not often the word even occurs to me. But when it does, take advantage of it. So we're awareness. We can say awareness is synonymous with unconditional love. We're always aware of stuff, whatever. The truth is, within that awareness, nothing is divided. There's no separation between me and this phone right in front of me. There's the appearance of separation. That doesn't make it separate because there is an unbroken stream of awareness. So we never get to pick and choose awareness. We do get to pick attention. Attention is different. Attention is focused awareness, but the awareness itself remains unfocused and able to incorporate everything that is presented, from bird to sky to cloud. Everything falls within awareness, but we might put our attention on a bird or a cloud. So it's the same with why we equate that with unconditional love. Unconditional love is always accepting. Always accepting. We place conditions under the guise of affection, of liking, of having a preference. I love you because. As soon as we say because, that's not love. That is temporary affection because I love you as long as that because exists. Take that because away, and what do we have? But when we can go back to that unconditionality of love, of true love, then we allow other people to be themselves. We don't need a because. Doesn't mean that one doesn't still exist. I love you because, and I love you still without the because. The nature of the relationship might change. If the because is gone, then maybe the relationship will change, but the love itself remains. I've been through that, and I'm going through it now. And it's been a pretty remarkable experience. The fact that I met my ex-wife in 2002. We got married in 2004. We separated in 2008. She went to Iraq for a tour and asked me to stay and be the guardian, take care of my 14-year-old stepchild, which of course I was happy to do. We just got back. We separated. Give me 1 second, guys. Somewhere. There we go. I had some background. Just took care of it. I got a friend up for some watch hours. Let's see. InfoSpot says, God bless Donald Trump. How about God bless everybody? So yeah, we separated in 2008. Well, yeah, when she got back. 2009, when she got back again. And we got divorced in 2012. It took us a while. But we stayed separated that whole time, but together. And throughout 2012, after the divorce, to 2024, we have navigated through everything together. Through the loss of both of my parents, through the loss of her, my stepdaughter's father, through the loss of pets, and actually grown closer than ever before. And we are together in a very, very meaningful way. Had there not been the recognition of unconditional love throughout, we never would have been able to do that, because we would have separated permanently because of all the conditions. Remember the word unconditional. Conditions don't exist within the unconditional. And everyone likes to put in the but what if or how about. They don't exist. Not in unconditional. Once you do that, you're entering a condition and it becomes something other. Unconditional remains in and of itself without separation, without break. Just love, always extending love. And guess what? Unconditional love and awareness in the exact same thing. And what did we say about who we truly are? We are in the awareness of every thought. We are in the awareness of the body. We are the awareness to each other. I'm the awareness to Donald Trump. Doesn't matter if I like him or don't like him. Through that awareness means Donald Trump exists within the unconditionality of my love. Dislike and like doesn't even factor in. That's not to say that I don't have a dislike or a like or a preference. It means it doesn't factor into the unconditional of the love that is extended. Not just Donald Trump, but everybody. It takes a while to get there. The fact is, it exists. It exists already. Who we are can never disappear. We always think I got to get on a spiritual path so I can find my authenticity. If it's authentic, it already exists here and now. What we need to do is, Joe Delaney is here. Joe says, that is a beautiful testament of a real relationship, Yogi. Hello. Thank you, Joe. Yeah, we worked at it. Meaning that we let go of a lot of pettiness between us. I brought my share of pettiness. Milka didn't. Milka's blameless. I'll stick with that. Let's see. Joe says, agreed. Runner Boy says, crabs also exist. Can you prove it? Do you have a crab with you now? In the absence of the actuality of a crab, does it exist? If it doesn't have an observer, does it exist? I don't know. We could study Schrodinger's crab. We put a crab in a box. It might have been a cat. I get those two confused. My cat is looking at me like, better not get those confused. We get an emoji from Joe Delaney. From Joe, Miss 1K Delaney. We got to make sure that we have that in between. Joe, Miss 1K Delaney is the new official title for now, until she hits 2K. Um, ooh, man, Runner Boy is taking this in a whole nother direction. This is the X-rated version of just a yogi in his basement. Yes, but they're very small, and it's a lot. Are we talking about cats? Because they're called kittens when they're that small. Joe's laughing. Let's see. Joe says, Yogi, did you get a notice on my tag in my community posts? I did not, but I will look. Speaking of which, I need to be on the lookout for Kathy Payton. She's going to do a premiere. And things haven't been easy for Kathy with her channel. It hasn't gone in the directions that she would have hoped for. So if we can extend some love and support. So let me bring up Jill. So we'll be able to make sure to check it out and I won't forget. Well, thank you, Joe. I got to tell you, it was a true act of friendship and pleasure to help you, to see you channel grow, to see you grow, to see you connect with more and more people. It was absolutely awesome, and it will continue. Just says, what is her channel name? C. Payton. Let me see if I can bring her up. I can drop the link. I don't know if everyone will be able to open it though. As I drop it on from my desktop. I'm gonna say I'm really happy with how the community is growing. Someone said that it's nice to see the fishing community, the fitness community, the craft community, all like sort of coming together. But Joe says, is it C. Payton 8121? I'm not sure if it has the numbers afterwards. Looking for it right now. Give me 1 second. It's she does some paranormal. Nope, doesn't have any numbers. It's capital C with a space and then Payton. I just found her. So yeah, people did these talking about communities coming together. But the thing is, and Jason and I talked about this. Hey, Jace. Jason will be right back. It's not a fitness community. It's not a gardening community. It's not a craft community. It's not an outdoor fishing community. It's just community. That's it. Community. So everyone belongs. Let's see. I hope that works. Oddly enough for me, some of the people that I don't really travel in the same circles with is the yoga. meditation community? Well, meditation I do. Yoga, when I say yoga, I literally mean the entirety of yoga. Without meditation, you don't have yoga. You have stretching. Without the ethics, you don't have yoga. You have stretching. Without the ethical principles or withdrawal of the senses, you don't have yoga. Um, I'm talking the 8 branches of yoga, the 8 limbs of yoga, and we have a tendency to focus on the physical, which is um, not surprising, but I'd love to see more focus. My first exposure to yoga was a book, Teach Yourself Yoga. Um, my parents bought me when I was 8, or they allowed me to buy. As a kid, um, my parents were teachers. They got paid every 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks, we would go grocery shopping, out to dinner, pizza, Sizzler Steakhouse, if you guys remember that. Um, and then we would go to a bookstore. We went to the library virtually every week, but we'd go to the bookstore, and we were, the kids, 3 of us, were allowed to buy a book each. If it was a small paperback, because they were pretty inexpensive back then, maybe 2. If it was like a hardcover, that might be it for the entirety of the month. And then the rest, it was make and do with the library. Make and do. I love the library. So anyway, I bought a book at 11. I picked it out, showed it to my mom, Teach Yourself Yoga, and she said, this might not be the best book for you. And she never discouraged me from reading anything that I was set to read. Let's see. Yep, Kathy Payton. That's the one. She has a premiere coming up. Or she said she was. Hopefully she still will. Yeah, so my parents never discouraged me from reading anything. Joe says, yes, they just refer to it as a niche. But at the same time, she didn't want me to waste my money on a book that I might not read. But I really wanted it for whatever reason. And I proceeded to teach myself yoga all the way, the entirety, meditation, the breath work. I wasn't good at it. I was 11 years old. I was an imperfect teacher. I still have the book, but I did my best, and I always returned to it. I'd go months, maybe even a year, without touching it or thinking about it, but I'd always come back and practice again. In the early 80s, I read 1981, a girlfriend's mother lent me 2 books by Alan Watts, the great spiritual teacher. One on Zen, the other, the Tao Te Ching, his interpretation of the Tao, which again sparked the deep dive into Eastern philosophy. My girlfriend soon broke up with me. I was heartbroken. I had to give the books back. But what she sparked with those books, with that gift, continues to this day. In the early 80s, I've read Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda, who was mentioned in my first book that I wrote. I wrote this in 1999, and it showed me the true meaning of yoga, and I signed up for his correspondence course. Been going strong ever since. But it is the yoga of meditation, and you use the postures to have a fit, healthier body that allows you to apply the breath work and the meditation so that you deepen your practice. It's not supposed to be a fitness movement in and of itself. It's supposed to be part of an all-encompassing path of yoga. So that's what I teach. The yoga of meditation, the yoga of breathwork, pranayama. And I'm happy to teach anyone. I always mention, and I mentioned this to a couple people yesterday, that yes, nominally I am a professional meditation and breathwork coach, but I teach my friends and family for free. If you're here, you are a friend. Reach out and I will teach you meditation absolutely for free. All right, back on track. Hey, Reaper. Reaper says, good morning, Eric, YouTube family. Hey, Reaper, I have a question for you. If you get this job, does that mean you got to drive an hour and a half every morning to and back from work? Reaper says, hope everyone is having a great morning and has a great day. Thank you. Man, my day is already starting to wind down. It's only 1:30 in the afternoon, but I'll be heading to bed by 7 p.m. Hey, Reaper, did you know that our friend Joe Delaney, Joe Miss 1K Delaney, is now a 1K channel? Reaper says the office was close to LA, but the job will be in San Diego. For me, that will be a 1 hour drive, an hour and 20 minutes, maybe. Well, I hope it's an hour. You could use that 20 minutes to sleep in, maybe. Joe's laughing. Reaper says, Joe, I knew he'd be excited for you. $1K is no easy feat. You know that? And you know what? I couldn't ask for more. This is good. I don't know if Runner Boy is still here, but let's say we have 3 people here right now. We have Reaper, Joe Delaney, and Runner Boy. And I couldn't think of 3 more people who are inspiring and deserve that 1K. Joe says, oh, I'm sorry, Sue is here. Just when Sue found us sitting down and relaxing with Kitty outside in this nice weather. Nice. Yeah, it's nice here too, and we deserve it. It was raining all day yesterday. Sue had some more geese flying over. I was happy to see that. Hey, Jace. Jace says, hey to Reaper, and to Sue and Joe, and to me. Jace is getting back in the action a bit. Saw him working out this morning. I mentioned to Reaper earlier when he was live streaming, I am 2 workouts away, 2 days away from 1,000 days of burpees in a row without a break. Of course, streak-wise, there was years without taking a break either, from lifting, ultra running. So, man, it really stretches way, way back. I don't like taking days off. As you can tell, I'm here every day talking to you guys, whether you want me to or not. And you're all probably like, man, just take an afternoon off, Eric. Relax. And most of all, give us a break. Never. You guys will never get a break from me. So, yep, 1,000 days. I really did think about, though, making it to 999 and then stepping aside. saying, nah, I'm going to take a day off. I'm going to show, especially when I show Milka, that I am not a creature of habit, that I am not dependent upon a streak, that I could step away 999 days. I'm not 100% sure I could do that, though. I would say that I would, and I'd go the whole day, and then I'd wake up at 11:59 in the morning and say I still got one more minute. I can get in some burpees. I can get in, what can I do in a minute? I can get 20 reps if I'm hustling. Maybe 21 in a minute. That still counts. Still counts in a streak. So I better not take the chance. I better just go ahead and continue like it's any other day. So 1K now for Joe. Here's what's next. Keep building the channel. She'll keep putting out excellent quality material as she does. That's all she puts out. And we'll start doing some watch hours. Joe has a playlist up, so we can always go through that. And maybe we'll get some more live streams. Hey, Sabine, how are you? Reaper says, okay, Eric, I'll do one burpee. It's all it needs. One burpee to keep the streak alive. One burpee. There you go. One burpee a day. That would make a great YouTube short. One burpee a day, a YouTube short. Day 1, do your burpee with a slice of pizza in your hand. Day 2, do your burpee with a burrito. Day 3, you got that the beer hat on, you know, the helmet with the 2 beers in it and the straw, saying Raiders across the front. So he says, hello, everyone in the chat. Joe says, I know, nervous as all get out. You know, it's not really natural for me to do live streams, to talk to people. And I was warned. My stepdaughter said, man, don't have a YouTube channel. People will eat you alive. You will be, I don't want to see it happen to you. And of course, it happens a bit. Hey, Joe, how about to start out with, you do some panels? I'd love to do a panel with you. I don't know how to do a panel, but I would learn so I could do a panel with you. I bet you everyone in the chat would do a panel with Joe Delaney. And then when you're more comfortable, we start doing solo. Split screen. You know, sharing a live stream. Speed says, I'm listening in the background. Little on cooking dinner. What's for dinner? What is the Swiss dinner for the day? Speed says, fine, Eric. I'm fine. How about you? I'm doing pretty good too. Reaper's laughing. Pizza burpees, burrito burpees, beer burpees. There's a burpee for every occasion in the Burpee Reaper's life, but only one until the great comeback begins. Speed says, Himo is just editing his special video for Sunday, so he may come in later. Awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing it, Sabine. Jace says, congrats to Joe. Jace says, thank you, Jace. You know, again, it could not have happened to a more deserving person. It was very fortunate to Joe to get her 500th sub here on the channel with the help of our friend Mir. who has helped so many people in their channels. Um, However, from that 500 point on, just quality work from Joe. I think having an appearance with Goga was huge because it was a great it was a great opportunity. And Goga just brings out the best in everyone that he's in contact with. Even him just popping in here to say hi, he brings out the best in me. Sweet says, Jace, thank you so much. Big hug to you. Jace says, Joe, you're less than you know from 2K. On some channels, it is people make these big leaps. It was I had to work hard to get to 400. Getting to 1,000 wasn't that big of a deal, but once you hit that 1,000, things sort of leapfrog on their own. I'm happy to say I am 70 away from 6K. Now, here's the thing. Probably the majority of those people either have no interest in me whatsoever, or it might even be not legit. They might be bots. They might be whatever. Doesn't matter, because when you reach that specific number, the right people start showing up. The right people always show up, but only when you're ready. And how do you get ready? I'm glad you guys asked me that. I started off the live stream today talking about prayer. Not a petitionary on your knees, Lord, please, or the Tao, or Buddha, or Krishna, whoever we wish to pray for. Separate voices, but only one source. And we're not on our knees saying, please help my channel grow. Please bring me more subscribers. Please bring me more watch hours. Perfectly fine to put that intent out there. But the prayer is, can I be the right voice at the right time with the right message? Period. Can I say the right thing when I'm supposed to say it? Can I put my ego aside just for a bit and be of service for the entirety of the live stream, for any time I spend on my channel? Can I help other people? That's the prayer. The prayer from A Course in Miracles is offered to the Holy Spirit, and it says, what should I do today? Where should I go? What should I say, and to whom? And then you allow yourself to be guided. It's so easy for me. My ego has made every wrong decision that can be made and continues to do so. But more and more, I'm able to pause before my live stream and offer that little prayer and get out of my own way. I no longer have to rely on me, the George Harrison me. Not that I'm calling myself George Harrison, but remember his song on Let It Be. I, me, mine. All through the day, all through the night. I, me, mine, I, be mine, I, me, mine. Entirely about the ego. George Harrison was also a student of Paramahansa Yogananda. Let's see. Sabine says, chicken breasts, schnitzel, red cabbage, mashed potatoes with butter and milk. Cream in it. Nice. Sounds excellent. And I have no doubt it's made in love, made with love. I talked this morning about prasad. Prasad is any food that is prepared with gratefulness and love. It's infused with it. As you are making it, you are literally extending your heart, your love, your soul into the food, so that when you eat it and someone else eats it, whoever you serve it to, they're touched by that love. They're touched by divine love. So knowing Sabine and her heart and the type of person she is, I have no doubt that it is prepared with prashad. It's prepared with love and gratefulness. Sabine says, Joe, that is so nice to hear. Congratulations. Jace says, flying up. 1.1 already subs and 1.3 watch hours. So you got 1.3 now, Jace? All right. I had Jace up just a bit earlier. I will have him up again before the day is over. And some days, the entirety of Jace's playlist is being played. So we will just keep working with that. So that's the prayer that's offered. That's how we attract the right people at the right time. So since I hit 5,000, it's all been the right people. I hope. Burner Boy says, nice, Jace. Let's both hit 2K watch hours now. Absolutely. Runner Boy, you should be really close. Joe says, thank you, Sabine. Sabine says, I had a funny feeling day today, but Jace made a big surprise and did send me a video of his Hayabusa walk. I can tell you I feel way better again. This is why I did send a big hugs to Jace. Nice. Jace says, Serena Boy, I set you going this morning, and we'll go over night 2, bro. Nice. I've had Tundra and Trending Live both up, getting some watch hours for them. There's some people in the fishing community that I've been helping too. That was the important distinction that was made. I had some vegan friends ask me, how can you be supporting people in the fishing community? I don't fish. I did fish when I was young, but you don't really believe my own practice with yoga, ahimsa, non-harm. So how can you support that? And my answer is what I was talking about with Jason, what we were talking about with Joe. Don't see it as a fishing community. See it as community. See it as our community. Don't see these people as fishermen. See them as people. I don't need to, I don't need to judge what someone does in their channel or doesn't do on their channel. My path is for me, which is why you'll never see me on a soapbox declaring everyone should be a vegan and everyone should eat this way and no one should do this or no one should do that. It is not my concern what you do. It's my concern who you are. So it's easy. I don't see them. I use, as Joe said, niche. Am I getting that right? But I don't see them as a separate community. It's just an ever expanding community that is able to keep encompassing. Encompassing is not a word, is it? Is able to keep encompassing more and more people. Not my community, not their community, community. As Jace so profoundly, wisely, and cleverly said, unity in the community. And we could interchange any way we want. Community in, community of, unity of community. Either way. Joe says, that is awesome, Jace. And Jace says to me, it's my pleasure. Speed says the butter and milk is in the mashed potatoes. I meant laughing, and yes, food cooked with love. Absolutely. I figured it was in the mashed potatoes. I have to be careful. I have been banned by Walking with Goldie from discussing mashed potatoes. Don't ask. I cannot reveal why. This says, hope to catch you later. Have to go out. Peace. I'm going to, let's see, we are almost at 46 minutes. I'm just going to make it to an hour. And then I'll be back later. I want to make sure that I'm available for when Kathy goes live, or does her premiere, sorry. There's some other stuff I want to check out. I'm not sure if our friend, let's see. Yep. Anything is possible is still live. If you get the opportunity to hang out, you're sitting on a riverbank watching the water go by, and Bob's got his 2 fishing poles up, and he's just talking. And then we'll have some action. He'll have to sometimes double pole action. He will have to run for the pole, both poles. So yep, he's still alive. This is what really inspired me. Bob, who is Anything is Possible, and Stuart the Fish Whisperer, who stops by here fairly often. He's a really good guy. I'm going to certify him a Zen master, and if you ever watch him at his kitchen table tying fishing flies, you'll know exactly why. The concentration, the infinite patience. Jared Laney says, have a great rest of your day. Yogi, thank you, my friend. Speed says, take care. Laughing out loud, sorry. Not a problem. I had Mir up and running earlier too. So back to Bob, Anything is Possible, and Stuart the Fish Whisperer, both of whom told me, conversation, that they are full-time YouTubers. Bob actually stepped away from his office job because he was miserable. And this is what he wanted to do. He fishes every day. Don't know how that might change in the winter. We'll see. But he's living the life that he most wants to live. And so is Stuart, tying fishing flies, having a conversation. He does go out and fish as well. It gave me hope that I can sit in my office and look at a camera and talk about this, whatever this might be, from session to session, day to day, that I can put out a few short little videos talking about yoga, talking about A Course in Miracles, talking about forgiveness, one of my all-time favorite things to talk about, because life changes so much. Let's see, Foxy says, is there room for any more? There's always room for more. In the infinite spaciousness of which we are, there is always room for more. As a matter of fact, nothing can ever be excluded. So I had thought about maybe giving up on my own aspirations of being a full-time YouTuber, although that's what I'm doing. I've been monetized for 2 months now. The very first donation that I ever got when I got my first monetization was from Joe Delaney. What a hugely loving gesture that just filled me with so much gratitude. I will never forget that. So these are two people that are endeavoring to live their dreams. How can I do any less? And in doing so, may I offer the same, even a little bit, to all of you guys. Whatever it is that you want from your channel. Maybe you want to do it full time. Maybe it's just sharing your passion. Maybe it's just sharing beautiful glimpses of the Susquehanna River and amazing yoga squirrels as you're retired and living your absolute best life that you now deserve. Whatever it is, that's community. That's what I want to be part of. That's what I want to help every single person, whatever it is. I want to be part of it. Whatever makes you happy, whatever you're passionate about. Foxy says, thanks, Yogi. You're absolutely welcome, my friend. And how are you? Foxy says, hello, Sabine. To assertively tell you of things, I always strive tirelessly to be good to people. I bet. I have no doubt, my friend. No doubt at all. Sabine, it says, school gives Foxy a wave. So, let's see. I wanted to read something. I read this fairly often. This is from Patanjali. Patanjali is the great yogic sage who 2,000 years ago or so, just around the corner, just a little bit ago, he wrote, I always have a copy here somewhere, the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. Sutra is a small, pithy saying that leads into the next one and the next one and the next one. Sutra literally means stitch, which is where we get the surgical term sutra. So like we have chapter 2, verse 1, verse 2, little tiny. I'm looking at it, nobody can see it. I read this a long time ago, and every day it gets more meaningful for me. I've been reading the Yoga Sutras steadily for 30 plus years. Same with Bhagavad Gita and the Tao Te Ching, the Upanishads, same with A Course in Miracles. And it's weird, sort of, how at this point in my life, you would think reading it for so long, it would get old, but I'm finding new depths, new understanding, new points of just pure aha. But this one might have been, this might be the one for me. This is what I want to offer everyone. I'm going to talk for 6.5 more minutes. Make it an hour even. So this would be the quote, and I'll talk about it a bit, that I would want to leave everyone with. Regardless, maybe your goal has nothing to do, let's not call it a goal, aspiration. Maybe it has nothing to do with YouTube. Maybe it is you want to be an artist, a painter. You have doubts. Do it anyway. And don't do it for the end result. Am I a professional artist? Am I this? Am I that? In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna, you have the right to your actions, but not the fruition of your action. You have the right for what you do, but not the results. The results are always left to God, to Krishna, to Jesus, the Holy Spirit. So that frees us. Now we can simply do what we love and not worry about the results because it's taken care of. Whatever it is to be, it's in the hands of God. However, here's what makes it easier. This is from Patanjali. When you are inspired by some great purpose, some extraordinary project, all your thoughts break their bonds, your mind transcends limitations, your consciousness expands in every direction, and you find yourself in a new, great, and wonderful world. Dormant forces, faculties, and talents become alive, and you discover yourself to be a greater person by far than you ever dreamed yourself to be. dormant forces, faculties, talents become alive, and you discover that you yourself to be a greater person by far than you ever dreamed yourself to be. Our great friend Goga and I have been talking about. He mentioned it on his channel. He mentioned me mentioning it on his channel, and then when he came to my channel, I mentioned him mentioning me, mentioning it, and back and forth it goes. Alignment. This is what Patanjali was talking about. Be alignment with that which you love. Be it painting, sculpting, origami, singing, even if it's just singing karaoke. Whatever it is, whatever makes you feel most alive in a very true spiritual sense. Give yourself to it. Does that mean that you quit your job and do only that? Not necessarily. It could. Maybe you want to bring karaoke machines to different places. Nursing home, resting home, weddings, whatever. And an idea for me, guys, when I pass away, bring a karaoke machine to my funeral. Let's have a song fest. Let's set it up, man. It's going to be Woodstock. Foxy says, very spiritual sentiment you have provided, Yogi. I always love hearing sentimental spiritual talk. Thank you, Foxy. That's every live stream. It's what I strive for. Sometimes I go off course. I always have great people to bring me back. Sabine says, maybe it is just the right thing for me now. Absolutely. Because I'm struggling. If I do what my heart would like to do. Hey, Sabine, I'm happy to talk about that. If you don't mind me asking, and you don't have to tell me now, you could send an email if you want. What is it that your heart would like you to do? And how can we all help you be in alignment with that? Rowan says, cannot stay long on lunch. Just spent the last 2 hours moving 2 pallets of drinks by hand. Nice. I appreciate you stopping by on your break. I'm actually going to call it an afternoon in just a few minutes. Speed says, so did William. Foxy says, not to worry, William, it's okay. I too cannot stay long either. Good man. Hey, Night Watcher. Hey, Kayla. Kayla says, big likes. Appreciate that. For me, I thought teaching yoga, specifically meditation and breath work, was the entirety of my life path. When I finally got my teaching certification for both, I thought now everything's set. I've been doing it for ever, but now I have the teaching certification, and I find I'm doing less and less of it, and I'm talking about it more. If talking about it can lead other people to sit and actually meditate or do breath work, regardless if I teach them or not, if they learn it somewhere else from someone else, doesn't matter. I find that I'm talking more about A Course in Miracles right now than I am about yoga. Doesn't mean I love yoga less. Just means that Course in Miracles has provided me so much, and I picked it up again one day after a few years break, and it talked about we're all teachers and students at the same time. We teach that which we need to learn. And it prompted me to, again, start teaching A Course in Miracles to the best of my ability. And by doing that, it means I have to live it. William says, my heart is telling me I don't want physical labor as a job, and I wish I could be making pizza. William, we will make that happen. We will make that happen. Somehow, in some way, we will make that happen. But you need to put out that intent. You need to see it from the end result, that you know it's connected to you. That's your Dharma. That's where your heart lies. Everything else is detail. Everything else is just technical. We can deal with the technical. We can deal with details. But keep your heart there. Keep your heart on what you want. And what I just read from Patanjali, when you are inspired by some great purpose, some extraordinary project, all your thoughts break their bonds, your mind transcends limitations, your consciousness expands in every direction, and you find yourself in a new, great, and wonderful world. Dormant forces, faculties, and talents become alive, and you discover yourself to be a greater person by far than you ever dreamed yourself to be. Dormant forces. Trust the dormant forces. The universe, God, the Holy Spirit. Stay in alignment. Foxy says, I for one have certainly already liked this very live stream itself. Thank you, Foxy. That's much appreciated. Smee says, I love animals and I usually did rescue them. But I'll write you more in an email if you don't mind. I don't mind at all. Absolutely. Would love to hear all of it. Smee says, my autocorrect is a killer. You know what? My autocorrect literally shrugs. My autocorrect literally says, I don't know what you're trying to say. Dude, you're messed up. That's what my autocorrect tells me every time I try to use it. Not Watcher says, Dear Yogi, become a public speaker. I'm trying to do, thank you for that suggestion, Night Watcher. I'm trying to do it on YouTube, a YouTube speaker. You know what, Night Watcher? I'm glad you said that because I sort of struggled with my own niche. Help me out, guys. Joe Delaney planted that in my head, and now I don't know which direction to go with it. But Night Watcher, YouTube public speaker. YouTube public speaker on spirituality. That's it. That's what I want to do. And Night Watcher, I owe that to you. Thank you. And it's an odd thing for me to consider because I was so afraid of public speaking the entirety of my life. I was extremely afraid. I was going to mess up. I was born, I had a speech impediment as a kid. Always afraid. And now I find myself drawn to get up and talk. I don't always make sense. I stumble over words. I still say things funny or can't say some things at all. But I give myself permission to be my authentic self. Let's see. William says, if I do hard labor, rather deliver for Amazon, it pays $8 more an hour. Hey, William, what if you just started making your own pizzas? And finding a way to get it out to people. Showing up at fairs. Getting a cart. I don't have a lot. I will invest in you, whatever I'm able to. Make pizzas at home. Get one of those heated carts. Take it to a construction site. Night Watcher says, William, maybe try make a hobby into a career. What's your hobbies? Foxy says, right, everyone, including Yogi, I have sadly got to go. Do take care, good man, Yogi, and everyone within Yogi's terrific community. Thank you, Foxy. I appreciate the time you spent here with us and the positivity that you brought. Hey, Skeeter. I got to spend time on Skeeter's live stream last night. It was awesome. Runner Boy showed up. Stirring the pot as always. In a good way. Runner Boy doesn't have a mean streak. He's 23 years old. He's full of mischief. Let's see. William says motivational speaker would be cool. Just hard to preach to others when I don't have my own home squared. Easier to speak ideals than to live them. Hey, William, what if you talked about that? There's always a place. You don't think someone's going to be inspired by someone struggling to find their own motivation, by someone struggling to find their own, to live their own ideals? That's what it's all about. Don't wait until you're on a pedestal to stand up and declare to everyone, look at me, I'm on a pedestal. I sent you a message once detailing my own struggles. I have them and always have. However, I am okay with my struggles. And I'm okay talking about my struggles. It's where we are. I don't want to deny where I am to anyone. And if someone can get a message from that struggle, it was worth the struggle. Your struggle is divine. See it that way, and you give it as a gift. You share it as a gift. Sabine is laughing. Now Hodges says, niche. Gotcha. Rose says, like a leash, but with an N. Niche. I think I started off saying it correctly, but then the more I said it, it devolved, like the opposite of evolution. It went back to its basic, primitive, primordial animal form, and I couldn't get my way out of it. William says, same here. Got to go. Enjoy your day, y'all. Thank you, William. I'm going to go too in just a bit. Night Watcher says, bye to William. Skeeter says, Skeeter Pizza. Skeeter Pizza sounds pretty good. Hey, here's a question I have for the fishing community, my fishing friends. Of course, I don't do this anymore. I'm a vegan. I used to put salmon on pizza. I used to put tuna on pizza. And people said I was crazy. Fish doesn't belong on pizza. Of course, anchovies are fish. So why not salmon? And it tasted really good. Made it very nutritious. What does the fishing community think about fish on pizza? Not what you says. If I would describe my appearance, I think of an egg, combine that with Hispanic fat Humpty Dumpty. That was crossbred with a Bengali person. Well, you know what? I've never seen you. Hey, Timo. Hey, Brian, how are you? Hey, Brian, how many Navy SEALs do you think you can get in 20 minutes? Not watching says no to Timo. Optimob says have not much time. Yeah, everyone stopped in has basically said the same thing. Don't have a whole lot of time, which is absolutely fine. I was going to end it at an hour, but we've been chugging along. So I'll give it a few more minutes. Say hi to all the ones coming in now. Brian says, night watching Timo, gives a wave. Timo says, send your mail with a support video. It will be seen in the premiere video on Sunday. Nice. Looking forward to it. I will be checking it in just a bit. Speed says, sorry, I was just setting up the table for dinner. Was a bit distracted. Not a problem. Brian says, I'm good. I'm not sure right now how many one day I may try, but probably not today. Duncan Walsh and I were just curious. Not what you said. I'd like to. I don't know. Man, I'd love to see you do a drawing, to have a drawing channel. Brian says he's good. Timo says it's not public for now. But I appreciate you sharing. Daisy says, profile. Night Watcher says, these last 2 weeks or so, I've lost all emotion and motivation. You know what? I hear you say things like that sometimes. But then you come in here and you show emotion, you show kindness, you show compassion, you show empathy. So how can that be? Maybe you just view that you don't have emotion, or that you view that you've lost motivation. Timo says it's your video, so you can see it first. Well, thank you. What's new, Daisy? Daisy, I see that you have 89 subscribers. So now, my friend, you officially have 90. Eric Point says, hey Yogi, did you get my email? I did. I sent you one in reply. I sent you my number back. And as I suspected, I actually got 2. So I did get your first one, but it was a day later. And it was in the spam. Let's see. Give me a second, guys. I got a couple that just showed up in spam from other people as well. Speed says, okay, I'm off now. Take care, everyone, and have a great day. And later on, a good night. Thank you, Sabine. Bye, and bless you all. Bless you, my friend. Brian says, I subscribed to Daisy too. Nice. Brian says, salute, Eric Lapointe. Daisy says, thank you to Brian Lane. Thank you to Brian. So Eric Lapointe was in an 80s frame of mind today. Hey, have you ever heard the acoustic version of Take On Me? Changes the entirety of the song. So beautiful. Now what you say is, I feel repressed by everyone. I know my actions have consequences, but I feel like an animal in a cage for some reason. Well, maybe because you need to open up and express yourself more. A cage represents the fact that you are keeping your emotions, your love, your heart, your passion in check. Now watch you. You're an artist. You need to be expressing yourself artistically all the time. Eric Point says, no, not yet. Check it out. Let me know when you do. It is absolutely beautiful. It might be, I'm firmly convinced that everything is better acoustically, with the exception of a few songs. One of those songs being the Allman Brothers Whipping Post, which is the ultimate rock song. I think maybe Layla is better than Being Left Alone, because Eric Clapton's acoustic version of Layla, pardon the expression, it sucks. It's drained of all passion that the original song had. Daisy says, thank you so much for subbing, Eric. I'm so happy that I'm going to scream. Feel free to scream, my friend. Brian says, when you said 80s, I was thinking of movies, Karate Kid for some reason. Karate Kid, one of the epic 80s movies, that for sure. Karate Kid, I remember the summer it came out, and there was a local lake that we all partied at. Huge parties. People bringing their guitars, frisbees. The cops would show up. Everyone scattered. We immediately would come back. Um, Summer it came out. Karate Kid. I was down at the bottom of a hill towards the lake, and there was someone on top of the hill. A young girl who was acting out the movie, and she did the crane, and I instantly fell in love. I was 17 years old, I guess. Um, and had to find out. I had to find out who she was. And I asked out. She said yes. She ditched me for someone else that same night and went out with that person. They dated for 2 years. I never got another date with her. In 2009 or so, I became her personal trainer. She was married at the time. Um, but, and we've been good friends ever since. Big Point says, hey, Night Watcher. It felt that way yesterday. It was bad, so just through this day, and the next, and then the next. Just get through this day, and the next, and the next, and the next. Excellent advice from Eric Lapointe, who, as he just said, Night Watcher, he was there. Night Watcher says, I recently went to go watch Deadpool and Wolverine. It's kind of concerning that Cineplex in Bangladesh don't have a age restriction for 18 R-rated 18 movies. Maybe you guys are just more trusting than we are. I heard it wasn't a very good movie. How did they bring Wolverine back when he died in his last movie? I know he's supposed to be immortal. It was kind of cool they brought Jennifer Gardner back. Stephen Price is here. It says, what a great shine on that head. Today, shining like a star. Keep it up. I will. You know what? I have to keep it up because I never know when our great friend Stephen Price is going to show up. I don't want to be less than shiny. Imagine that. I wake up in the morning and I say, nah, today I'm not going to shine. I'm going to dim my glow. And Brian shows up. And here I am, like all dim and everything. How embarrassing would that be? And how disappointing it would be? Brian makes, or Steven makes a special trip to come here. The least I can do is be prepared to shine. So I do my best. Thank you, Stephen Price, my friend. Brian says, just got an excellent clip of a bumblebee and a flower just now. Nice. I love those shots. Now what you says, I went with my family. Yeah, that could have been maybe a little embarrassing. Oh, man, I hate the alternative universe stuff. Wolverine said, or Nightwatcher says, Wolverine in the movie is from a alternate universe where he failed his comrades. Brian says, you're doing an amazing job, Eric, like always. Thank you for those words, Brian. Hey, Eric Lapointe, anytime you're having a day like that and you want to do guided breath work, give me a call. I will guide you through some breath work. Daisy says, I'm watching Life Lessons. They're interesting. Make sure to watch it. Probably be in language Romania or also in English. We have some Romanian friends here. So they could probably help with that. A couple good friends from Romania. Eric Point says okay with a thumbs up. All right. So, my goal was to make it an hour, and I made it an hour and 20. That's not bad. And we talked a lot of stuff. Talked a lot about inspiration. And we made some new friends. Hey, Tandra, how are you? I had Tandra up and running. You know what I like about Tandra's live streams is they are generally 2 hours or more. So I can put one up for watch hours and let it play through. Night Watch just snuck it in, another great live. Skeeter's waving at everyone. Brian says, I wish I could come in here and talk like you, but sometimes it just isn't my style to go and do a live and speak as much. Hey, Brian, I like the way you do it. You're very sincere. Hey, if I can ever figure out how to do that, the split panel, man, I'd love just to sit around and talk with you. I'm supposed to be doing that with William Downey. I'd love to do it with Reaper. I'd love to do it with Eric LaPointe. I'd love to do it with you. Everyone, anyone. And I told Joe Delaney, because she gets really nervous, she says, on her trying to do a live stream. Let's do it together until she feels comfortable. I bet if you came in and just started talking about all the stuff you're passionate about, Brian, and it's so much. You love yoga, qigong, meditation, breathwork, nature. You love sports. You love fitness. You have your spirituality and all the branches within that. You have your favorite authors. You have your own path through addiction, sobriety. Not that you want to talk about that all the time, as you mentioned, but sometimes. You got all those things that you can talk about just off the top of your head. Me, I only talk about one or two things. Daisy says, and one day I should do a live and talk. You should, definitely. Let's see. Skeeter says, like to meet up with you, Yogi, and do some fishing. I haven't fished since I was a kid. You know what I'd love to do? I'd love to sit and hang out while you're fishing. Definitely would love. Man, I'd love to. Anytime I get an opportunity to head to Pennsylvania, my favorite races when I was doing ultra running were always in Pennsylvania. My home state. Born in Western PA, born in Allegheny County, but my dad's family and where I spent much of my time, I lived there part of my teenage years, Sullivan County, North Central. Not too far from you, Skeeter. My grandfather was forest ranger there. He actually helped name World's End State Park, which is a pretty well-known park. Hey, Signature. I had Signature up for some watch hours today, too. Daisy said, all day. Man, that would be something. I have not tried to do a massive one. We got some friends that do 3 or 4 hour live streams. Brian says, I feel like I'm a little bit of everything. I am the universe, which means that there are infinite things for you to talk about, Brian. You'll never be limited. As the universe, how could you not have something to talk about? Skeeter waves at Signature. Daisy's waving. Tandra says, hi, Signature. Night Watcher says, what's the difference between a monkey with a human brain and a dolphin with a human body? It's a good question. I don't know. I think dolphins might actually be more intelligent. I think dolphins might be more intelligent than people because, dolphins have in their fins, they have thumb bones. They have the bones of a hand, as if they came from the water, looked around, spent some time, built a few things, and said, nah, I'm good. I'd rather play in the ocean. How's that for intelligence? Instead, we, sophisticated monkeys, mucked everything up, man. Give me the sweet life of ocean living every day. Let's see, Skeeter says that would be awesome too. Man, I'd love to talk Pennsylvania with you sometime, Skeeter. Brian says, well, you do a great job, Eric. You're like a professional at doing these lives. I've been doing them for a year now, just about a year, a little over a year. So definitely have gotten better. And you know what helps? You guys. I got someone to talk to. Easy says, am I late this time? Hello, everyone. A little late. I've been threatening to call it a day, but man, I keep going on. It's hard to say goodbye, man. We got some great people to hang out with. Brian says, you got some good topics. I always feel everything I say is a derivative of love, forgiveness, inspiration, which is fine with me. Because I think what might be societal wise, what might be lacking is love, forgiveness, and inspiration. This is why, man, I'm like super happy to be part of the fishing community. Because these are people who are living their inspiration. Daisy says, I'm so sick today, and my head hurts. I'm not good today. I forgot to say that. I'm sorry to hear that, Daisy. Sending prayers to you, my friend. Eric Point says, I did over 5 hours, but it was the 1K burpees. Still counts. So basically, you made it even harder. Eric Point says, look at the x-ray of a elephant foot, Yogi. It's crazy. I'm going to Google that up. I wrote a lyrical essay on elephant's foot. I read it actually on YouTube as well, and I might read it again. If you remind me, I'll look it up tonight and I'll read it. Do you know an elephant's foot can sense a rainstorm from like 5 miles away? It is so delicate. It can step on a grape without crushing it, and yet can also bring it down with so much force as to shake the ground. It's an amazing instrument. Everything about an elephant is absolutely amazing. From the foot, a foot that is capable of holding up the largest land mammal, and yet sensitive enough to pick up a rainstorm miles away. Nightwatcher says, truly we are just some group of posh and sophisticated monkeys. Hey man, speak for yourself. I ain't posh. I ain't sophisticated. I might be a monkey, but I'm not posh and I'm not sophisticated. Brian says, wish you the best healing, Daisy. Nah, maybe sophisticated if you think about it like instrumentally. We got sophisticated Hannery. Hannery is not actually a word. I just made that up. But it fits. It should be a word. Trademark, copyrighted. But posh. I'm definitely not posh. Unless we're talking favorite Spice Girls. That's a whole nother story then. Don't ask me. I think I could name one more. I think I could name Ginger. And now I'm out of Spice Girls. Tanya says elephants, my favorite animal. You know what? I always I always think this is my favorite animal, and then someone says elephants are my favorite animal, and I'm like, yes, they're my favorite animal too. And then someone might say, but I thought your favorite animal was bears, and then I'm like, yes, bears are my favorite animal. But man, there's something special about elephants. An animal that mourns, actually, most animals will mourn the death of a herd member, or we had a goose that lost its mate in the pond from my house, and it would just circle around the body day and night, several days until wildlife management came and removed it. Heartbreaking. Daisy says, oh, thanks, Brian. Yes, lots of love and prayers to you, Daisy. Matt Watcher says, Yogi, you should hear yourself at 2 times speed. Nah. I don't even like hearing myself at this speed. I do not play myself back. You get one of those, whenever you catch yourself, you always get that, man, that's what it sounds like? I'm never going to talk in public again. I've never had much confidence in my voice, which stems back, as I mentioned before, early years having a speech impediment and being teased relentlessly, not just by kids. I would have teachers who would find it funny to have me say something, and they would ask me to stand up in class, say this. And at first, you don't know what's coming. You say it, and then you get all this laughter directed at you, not laughing with you, directed at you. And then later, you come to dread it because you know what's coming. So it's, for me, thinking of those times, and even all the way up through 30s and 40s. I was flown down to a Unity church to give a poetry reading from one of my books. It was nice. They flew me and Mocha and my stepdaughter down. We had a place to stay. We were taken out. I got up on stage to do the poetry reading. My hands were shaking. I couldn't do it by myself. I called up my stepdaughter and Mocha to come up and stand with me, which immediately provided relief. And as this was a church, there was a flute player who had also performed, and he saw how nervous I was, and he started playing interweaving notes to my poetry reading, and it just became a magical event. Unfortunately, every time I do a live stream, I keep asking anyone to come on and play flute. Everyone says no. These lame excuses. I don't know how to play the flute. I don't have a flute. I don't even know you. Why are you knocking on my door asking to come over to play the flute? Like I said, lame excuses. Let's see, not what you says. What do you think of animal cloning? I'm not sure animals have the capability of cloning, but hey, if they are scientifically trained enough to do some cloning, let animals do what they want to do. Brian says, you never look like you get nervous, Eric. I do. This is what I was talking about with William Hart. Let your struggles be part of the teaching. Let your struggles be part of the message. Don't deny anything. Don't put up a front. If I stumble over words, I stumble over words. If I can't pronounce something, you guys heard me mispronounce everything. Everything. Literally, I'm saying I've mispronounced the word everything. Oh, I see what you say. I see what you're saying now, Night Watcher. No, the cloning of animals in a lab. Well, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I haven't given it much thought. They are thinking of bringing back the woolly mammoth, which would be kind of cool. I don't know the implications of it. And there's implications to everything. I think we don't I don't think we should stumble upon anything just to see what happens scientifically. Um, give it some serious thought before we do things. However, if we can save a species from going extinct, that might be a different story. Night Watcher says, like bringing your dead dog back to life. Actually, you kind of, because they might look the same, but their personality isn't the same. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that. Absolutely love my two dogs so much that I can't, 5 years later, I can't bring myself to get another dog yet. I'm making do with my two cats, making sure they didn't hear me. Not making do. I love my cats. Cats have adapted quite well. We got them when they were 10 years old. Sisters, two black cats. No one wanted them. The person at the shelter was afraid they might get separated. If anyone took one, they might not take the other. And told that to Mocha. Mocha told it to me, and I was like, well, now that you say that, I have no choice but to bring him home. And the cats like sauntered in, as cats do, and looked around and literally shrugged. And was like, I guess this will do. Now bring me some food. And that's been our relationship ever since. I'm basically a vending machine for my cats. Eric Point says, great chat. Take care, everyone. Man, Eric Point switched it up because Great Live was already taken. Great chat. Take care, everyone. Man, top that, Night Watcher. What do you got? Night Watcher says, I want an animal. Not gonna lie. I don't blame you. I don't like calling them pets. I have animal companions. Always have. Hopefully always will. I hope you get one. All right, with that, you know what they say, the party ends when Eric Lapointe leaves. There's no sense in continuing. So we're going to wrap it up. Golden Retrievers are a little big, Night Watcher. They're larger than medium. Night Watcher says, like a medium-sized dog, similar size to a Golden Retriever, or a cat that's big and fuzzy, has a cute face. Brian says, I have turtles. My sister has a cat I found on this day last year. Wow. Hey, happy finding day to you, your sister, and your cat. I definitely love turtles too. And I've been spending a lot of time with frogs and toads. They're on the path right now, especially the morning after a rain. They come to dry off. I always worry about them though, because we got hawks and owls at night flying around, foxes. Rattle says, any feta cheese today? No feta cheese today. I'm waiting until they finally make a good tasting vegan feta cheese. I have hopes. I have dreams. Hopefully it'll happen. You can't beat a good feta, as I've always said. You guys, you must have heard me say it a million times before. Let's see. Brian says, thanks, Eric. You're welcome, Brian. Now what you say, so Yogi, have a great day. Thank you. I'll be back in a little bit. 3 hours, 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Brian says, yeah, you're catching more than me. Hey, Eric, I got some good pictures from last year. I'm going to share with you. Nice. Looking forward to seeing them. Frogs and toads. Yeah, I got a few more frogs this morning. I got a frog smiling at me this morning. It might be a toad that smiled at me. I got to check again. And I got some more frogs sitting on the pond. Not what you says. I'm going to stop you here. It's a good place to stop. I like tigers. Beautiful animals. Bengal tigers. Siberian tigers. I like them all. I'm glad that they are actually making a bit of a comeback. Scary when something that scary when anything is on the verge of extinction, but when something that magnificent. Tigers, rhinos, always a shame. All right, so with that, guys, I'm going to see everyone a bit later. If you're around, if you get the opportunity, come on by and we'll hang out again. Thank you, everyone. Hey, Daisy, I hope you feel better. Brattle87, I hope you get some feta cheese today. Night Watcher says, don't leave. Have to. We've already said goodbye. And Eric Lapointe has left the building. Night Watcher, make a video of you doing some drawing. I think it's long overdue, my friend. All right. I got to end it. I'm going to make something to eat. Well, I'm not going to make something to eat. I'm going to have something to eat. So, Night Watcher has declared me dead. Rest in peace. I will do my best. Destiny says, blessings to you, Jesse Yogi, on this beautiful Thursday. How are you? I'm doing good, Destiny. We are just calling it an afternoon. I'm going to head off and make something to eat. I'll be back in about 2.5 hours. I'm glad you were able to stop by, Destiny. Gives me an opportunity to send you my love. Now what you says, okay, now you have to stay. Destiny is here. I wish I could, because I always love talking with Destiny. Jeremy Adventures said, hey everyone. Hello, my friends. Jeremy and Cheryl's cruise adventure. Top of the line YouTube channel. And I'm saying YouTube channel. No, I didn't say cruising channel. YouTube channel. The fact that they're a cruising channel, icing on the cake. 2 more people. Destiny says, okay, Eric M., I will catch you at the next one. Much love to you and the chat. Much love to you, Destiny. All right, guys. Definitely have to go. Destiny says, hello and blessings to Night Watcher. Brian says, hello to Miss Destiny. All right, guys. Thank you very much for spending some time. Much appreciated. If you don't mind hitting the like button, I'd greatly appreciate it. Destiny says, peace out. Much love, everyone. Night Watcher says no, and rest in peace, Yogi. Man, you keep declaring me dead. Just because I'm soft-spoken doesn't mean I'm dead. All right, with that, definitely got to go. Take care, my friends.